yeah, myth has a lot of meaning, a lot
Yeah.
of meaning, even though it's not like true in the way that scientific minded people typed it tend to think that like, oh, it's true because there's evidence for it. There's empirical evidence for it, which means you can understand something through your five senses. That's what
Yeah.
empirical means. Um,
Well, and
yeah,
tell me, do something to refute this.
yeah,
But I would say that like those myths and those stories are everything
right. Hmm.
in regards to our existence.
Interesting. Yeah,
Because though, I mean, the stories that we tell ourselves
right,
are, yeah, in relation to this bigger objective truth. I don't, however we define that
right.
even, they're lies, but it still is everything that's here. Like it's everything
Hmm.
that we know and
Right,
everything that we're going to know, unless you expand the definition of
right,
know, right?
right.
But like in those stories is everything that we need to live.
Absolutely. No, I actually wouldn't refute that. Like, what gives your life meaning is these myths. And I think what would scare a lot of like Americans, for example, is that Americanism and like the idea of America and patriotism, these are all like archetypes.
Mm.
And like even a border between a country, if you really analyze what a border is, um, it's it's just an archetype or an
Mm.
idea,
Mm.
or a myth, and it would be scary for someone who really wants to build a wall. They want like this physical thing that is actually a metaphor.
Mm.
They think it's this wall is this physical thing, but it's actually a metaphor for me and them.
Mm.
So it's like the Mexican people are seen as them versus we, the
Mm-hmm.
inclusive we. Um, where I would challenge people listening to this podcast that to expand the idea of we to include as many sentient beings as possible, whether they be human or animals. And that's weird maybe in your language, like if you say we, the humans and the wolves, for example. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of you tend to think wolves as they, right? But if you challenge yourself to say we, yeah, but
So I think like existentially I agree with you, but
right,
in my mind, and tell me what you think of this, like there's so many steps in between
yeah,
there that
a
we
lot.
like we can't skip,
No, yeah,
especially as a political entity or a government, a
right,
nation.
absolutely,
So I think a lot of people could listen to this and be like, "Oh, I'll just write that off because
yeah,
that's never gonna happen."
right,
It's like we're never gonna.
right.
The
It's
U.S. as this whole entity is never gonna just like switch to see
right.
everybody as we.